Imagine this. Your mind is crowded, fast and loud. Notifications, opinions, doubts, expectations, all pulling you in different directions. You try to think, but the more you think, the more tangled everything becomes. And somewhere deep down, you can feel it. You're not thinking clearly. You're reacting, rushing, overprocessing, and hoping clarity will simply show up. The Stoics warned us about this thousands of years ago. They taught that clarity is not a gift. It is a discipline. You control your judgments, Marcus Aurelius wrote, even when the world feels chaotic. And when your judgments are clean, your decisions become powerful. In this video, we will walk through 7 Stoic methods to quiet the noise, reclaim your perception, and make decisions with calm confidence. If you're tired of confusion, overthinking, and emotional reactions, stay with me. Comment below. I choose clarity. 1. Quiet the noise. Clear your mental space. Before thinking, clarity doesn't begin with thinking. It begins with removing what blocks your ability to think. Most people try to solve their problems by adding more thoughts, more analysis, more opinions. But Stoicism teaches the opposite. You gain clarity by subtraction. You cannot see your reflection in a stormy lake, and you cannot trust your mind when it is loud, anxious, or overloaded. Modern life is a constant assault on your attention. Your phone buzzes, messages demand replies, people want answers, deadlines pile up, and every corner of your mind becomes a crowded intersection. You tell yourself you're thinking, but in reality, you're just reacting. Overthinking is not deep thinking. It's mental noise disguised as productivity. And the first Stoic step to clear decision-making is brutally simple. Silence the noise. Marcus Aurelius wrote entire meditations while leading an empire in war. Not because he had free time, but because he created space inside his own mind. He understood that chaos outside means nothing if your inner world remains still. That is the heart of Stoic clarity. Your peace is your power, and without peace, you cannot judge anything correctly. So how do you quiet the noise? Start with a 60-second reset. Close your eyes. Breathe in for 4 seconds. Hold for 2. Exhale for 6. Let your shoulders drop. Notice the pressure in your chest, the tightness in your jaw, the restlessness in your thoughts. Name it silently. Stress, frustration, fear, anticipation. Stoics called this labeling the impression. Once you label the emotion, it loses half its control. You stop drowning in it and you start observing it. Next, practice mental subtraction. Ask yourself, what can I remove right now? Not fix, not solve. Remove. The majority of mental clutter comes from things that do not matter in the long run. Imagined problems, invented fears, unnecessary comparisons, opinions of others, or tasks that aren't truly your responsibility. The Stoic mind is not full, it is focused. Then, create a decision space. Step away from screens, step away from noise, step away from people for a moment. A clear decision cannot come from a cloudy environment. Even 1 minute of solitude resets the tone of your mind. The moment you detach from noise, something shifts. Your breathing slows, your pulse softens, and your thoughts begin lining up instead of colliding. Because here is the truth. A noisy mind produces chaotic decisions. A calm mind produces wise ones. When you learn to silence the noise, even for a moment, thinking becomes easier. Options become clearer. Emotions lose their grip. And your next decision starts coming not from panic, but from presence. Clarity doesn't come to the distracted. It comes to the disciplined. And the first discipline is quieting the storm inside. 2. Separate facts from interpretations. One of the greatest enemies of clear thinking is the human tendency to confuse what happened with what we believe happened. The Stoics understood this deeply. They taught that almost all emotional suffering comes from the stories we attach to events. Stories fueled by fear, ego, insecurity, or past wounds. And when your story becomes louder than the truth, your decisions become distorted. Epictetus said it simply, "It's not things that disturb us, but our judgments about things." This single sentence explains why so many people make terrible choices in moments of stress. They react not to reality, but to assumptions masquerading as truth. Consider something as small as receiving a short text message. Okay. To you, it might feel cold, distant, annoyed, or passive-aggressive. You immediately interpret it. They're upset, they're disappointed, they're pulling away. But none of that is factual. The only fact is the text. Everything else is a story you added. And it's these added stories that push you into overthinking, anxiety, and impulsive decisions. This is why Stoics practiced cognitive separation, pulling apart fact from interpretation before making any judgment. It's a mental discipline that creates clarity instantly. So how do you apply it? Start with the Stoic triad of questions. 1. What actually happened? State the raw event without emotion, without meaning, without assumptions. He didn't reply yet. I was not included in the meeting. She looked away when I was speaking. Just the data, nothing more. 2. What story am I adding on top of it? This is where you expose the mental fiction. He must be ignoring me. They don't respect me. She hates me. These are interpretations, not facts. 3. What is within my control right now? Your response, your next action, your effort, your attitude? This is the realm of clarity. Everything else is noise. The moment you separate these 3 layers, something powerful happens. Your emotional charge weakens. Fear becomes smaller. Anger dissolves. The situation becomes less personal and more objective. And objectivity is the birthplace of wise decisions. In the modern world, the mind automatically fills in blanks with negative assumptions because it evolved to detect threats, not truth. Stoic training retrains this instinct. It teaches you to pause, observe, and question your own perception before reacting. Here's a simple rule. If you can't prove it, don't decide based on it. This prevents impulsive texts, emotional reactions, unnecessary confrontations, and self-created drama. It saves relationships, careers, friendships, and your mental peace. When you strip away interpretations, what remains is clarity. When you stop believing every thought, you begin seeing truth. And once you see truth, your decisions become grounded, rational, and strong. Remember, the world is not nearly as chaotic as your interpretations make it. Clean the lens, and the whole picture changes. 3. Slow down. Eliminating fast emotional decisions. Clear thinking dies the moment speed takes over. When you rush, you don't think, you react. And reactions are the domain of emotion, not reason. This is why Stoics repeatedly warned against quick decisions. The faster the reaction, the more likely it is driven by fear, anger, ego, or insecurity rather than wisdom. Today, everything pushes you to move fast. Instant messages demand immediate replies. People expect instant clarity. Deadlines force snap judgments. Social media trains your mind to process in milliseconds instead of minutes. But speed is not your friend. Speed is the enemy of wisdom. A rushed mind sees only fragments, not the full picture. Seneca wrote, "Delay your first reaction, not because slowness is virtuous by itself, but because a second of pause can save you from hours, days, or even years of regret." The first reaction is almost always emotional. The second reaction, the one that comes after a pause, is usually rational. This is the Stoic technique known as the Stoic pause. a deliberate moment of slowing everything down so your mind can regain control. Here's how it works. Step 1. Stop the momentum. When something triggers you, an insult, a rude message, a disagreement, a financial fear, your emotions surge. Your pulse rises. Your mind tightens. This is the moment you want to speak, defend, fight, or fix the discomfort. Instead, do the opposite. Step back. Go silent. Interrupt the emotional momentum before it overruns your judgment. Step 2. Breathe to reset your nervous system. A slow inhale and even slower exhale instantly calms the body. When your physiology calms, your thoughts stop racing. This creates a tiny gap, a mental doorway where clarity begins. Step 3. Name the emotion. I'm angry. I'm anxious. I'm embarrassed. Naming the emotion separates you from it. You stop being the emotion and become the observer of the emotion, and observers make better decisions than reactors. Step 4. Ask the grounding question. If I react now, will this decision age well? Most impulsive decisions crumble under this question. Most wise decisions survive it. Think about the times you regret something you said. Almost all of them came from reacting too quickly. Think about relationships damaged by one heated moment, or money lost from a rushed purchase, or opportunities ruined by an emotional outburst. The common thread is speed. Modern life has convinced us that we must act fast or lose everything. Stoicism flips this on its head. Act fast when calm. Act slow when emotional. Great leaders, soldiers, negotiators, thinkers, the people we admire for their clarity, all share one habit. They slow the moment before deciding. They let the emotion rise and then fall, and only then do they speak or act. A decision made in anger is a decision made by a different version of you, a version you don't want running your life. Remember this truth. Slow is smooth. Smooth is clear. Clear is powerful. When you master the pause, you reclaim control. You stop letting emotions dictate your future. You begin choosing with intention, and your decisions finally reflect the person you want to be, not the impulses you're trying to escape. 4. The one Stoic. Question: what is the right action? Clarity becomes effortless when your mind knows what to prioritize. Most people make decisions based on emotions, convenience, fear of judgment, or the desire to please others. But none of those lead to clear thinking. They lead to confusion, inconsistency, and regret. The Stoics solved this problem with a single, transformative question. What is the right action? Not the easy action, not the comfortable action, not the popular action, the right action. Stoicism teaches that when you align your decisions with virtue, wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, clarity follows automatically. Virtue acts like an internal compass. When everything feels blurry, it points you toward the direction that maintains your integrity, dignity, and long-term well-being. Let's break down how this works. Most people ask the wrong questions. What will people think? What if I fail? What if someone gets angry? What if I look bad? All of these questions pull you deeper into emotional fog. The purpose of the Stoic question is to cut through that fog instantly. It brings your attention back to what you can control: your character, your choices, your actions. Imagine you're in a conflict. Your ego wants to fight. Your fear wants to hide. The crowd wants you to react. But the Stoic asks, what is the right action according to my values? Maybe it's staying calm. Maybe it's speaking truth without hostility. Maybe it's walking away. Maybe it's setting a boundary. Clarity appears the moment you anchor your decision in virtue rather than emotion. This is where the 4-virtue decision filter becomes a powerful tool. 1. Wisdom. Is this choice rationale, informed and aligned with the bigger picture? If not, slow down. 2. Courage. Am I avoiding this path out of fear? If yes, lean toward bravery. 3. Justice. Is this fair, honest, and respectful to myself and others? If no, correct it. 4. Temperance. Is this decision balanced or driven by excess emotion or impulse? If unbalanced, stabilize before acting. When you filter decisions through these 4 virtues, you eliminate guesswork. You stop making choices from insecurity or pressure. You start making them from integrity and strength. Here's why this works. Emotions change, moods change, circumstances change, but principles stay steady. And decisions built on principles remain strong long after the moment passes. Think of the toughest choices you've faced. Relationships, career shifts, difficult conversations, setting boundaries, walking away, starting something new. When you acted from emotion, you likely suffered. When you acted from values, you felt peace, even if the decision was hard. That's the hidden power of Stoicism. Virtue gives you clarity even when life gives you chaos. So next time you're torn between options, stop asking who will approve, who will judge, or what outcome is guaranteed. Outcomes are not your domain. Applause is not your domain. Fear is not your advisor. Ask the only question that matters. What is the right action for the person I want to become? Answer it honestly, and the path will reveal itself. 5. Zoom out. Think from a higher perspective. When your problems feel overwhelming, your vision narrows. You focus on the immediate pain, the immediate emotion, the immediate fear. Your mind zooms in so tightly that the situation appears bigger than it truly is. And when you're too close to a problem, you lose clarity, you lose proportion, you lose your ability to decide wisely. The Stoics had a powerful remedy for this: the view from above, a mental technique where you rise above the moment and observe your life. Not from the ground, but from a higher vantage point. This shift in perspective dissolves emotional fog and reveals clarity that was invisible before. When Marcus Aurelius felt pressure, criticism, confusion, or frustration, he imagined himself rising above the city, above the people, above the noise. He visualized the planet from a distance. From that height, the problems bothering him suddenly looked small, temporary, and manageable. This was not escapism, it was wisdom. He understood that distance creates clarity. Here's why this works. The mind exaggerates what it focuses on. If you stay too close to fear, fear looks enormous. If you stay too close to conflict, conflict looks defining. If you stay too close to disappointment, disappointment becomes your world. Stoic thinking breaks that illusion. To apply this, practice the 3-level perspective shift. Level 1, the 5-year lens. Ask yourself, will this matter in 5 years? Most problems lose 90% of their weight under this question. Arguments, delays, discomforts, misunderstandings. Suddenly, they shrink. Level 2. The life lens. Does this align with the person I want to become? A clear mind is not obsessed with the moment, it's aligned with identity. When you think from the standpoint of your future self, the right decision becomes obvious. Level 3. The cosmic lens. Imagine yourself rising above your life, seeing the smallness of every moment compared to the entire timeline of existence. From this view, the gossip doesn't matter. The slight disrespect doesn't matter. The temporary embarrassment doesn't matter. The overthinking dissolves, because the moment is no longer your entire world. This shift isn't about minimizing your feelings. It's about restoring proportion. A problem that looks massive today may be insignificant in the bigger story of your life. Perspective creates emotional distance. Emotional distance creates clarity. Clarity creates wise decisions. Here are 3 practical questions to anchor this perspective. Is this a temporary feeling or a long-term truth? Most emotional reactions are temporary storms, not indicators of what's actually right. What would the wisest version of me do? Not the scared version, not the angry version, not the insecure version, the wise version, the one you aspire to become. What choice respects my future self? Every decision is a vote for or against the person you're becoming. When you zoom out, you stop drowning in momentary emotions and start navigating with clarity. Problems become smaller, priorities become sharper, paths become more visible. Remember, from above, the noise disappears. From above, only the truth remains. Zoom out, and your decisions will finally align with wisdom, not impulse. 6. Remove the ego. Think without pride, fear, or image. If there is one force that destroys clear thinking more than distraction, more than emotion, and more than stress, it is the ego. Ego is the voice that whispers, "I must win, I must look good, I must prove something." And the moment your decisions begin revolving around image instead of truth, clarity disappears. The Stoics saw ego as a fog that blinds judgment. Marcus Aurelius ruled one of the largest empires in history, yet he constantly reminded himself, "You're just a man, not a Caesar." Why would an emperor write this? Because he understood that the greatest threat to wisdom is pride. Pride makes you stubborn. Pride makes you defensive. Pride makes you choose based on emotion, not reason. Ego shows up in subtle ways. You don't apologize because you don't want to look weak. You stay in a bad situation because you don't want to admit you were wrong. You overreact because you feel disrespected. You avoid help because you fear seeming incompetent. You make decisions to impress others, not to improve your life. Every one of these choices clouds clarity. When ego sits in the decision-making chair, it doesn't care about what is right. It cares about how you appear. And clarity cannot exist where ego is in control. So how do you remove ego from your thinking? You start with radical honesty. Ask yourself, am I about to make this decision because it is wise or because it protects my pride? This single question can stop countless mistakes. Ego hates being exposed, but truth thrives on exposure. Next, practice the Stoic method of humility in reasoning. Humility doesn't mean thinking less of yourself. It means wanting truth more than wanting to be right. A humble mind can ask questions, consider alternatives, admit uncertainty, and adjust course. An ego-driven mind cannot. It fights, defends, resists, and clings. Then, apply the 3 ego filters before making any decision. 1. If nobody ever knew about my choice, would I still make it? If the answer is no, the decision is ego-driven, not value-driven. 2. If I remove fear of judgment, what becomes the obvious action? Most confusion fades the moment you stop imagining the opinions of others. 3. If I wasn't trying to avoid embarrassment, what would I do? Embarrassment is temporary. Regret is permanent. Ego thrives on external validation. Stoicism brings you back to internal alignment, to the person you want to become, not the image you want to maintain. Consider how many opportunities people lose because ego gets in the way. Not asking for advice, not apologizing when it's needed, not leaving toxic situations, not admitting mistakes early, not learning from those who know more. These are not failures of intelligence, they are failures of humility. When ego falls away, clarity rises. You think cleaner. You see options you missed. You become open rather than defensive, curious rather than reactive, grounded rather than fragile. And here is the truth most people never learn. Clarity requires the death of ego. Wisdom requires the courage to be small. Growth requires the willingness to be wrong. The moment you stop trying to protect your image, your mind becomes free, and your decisions finally become honest. 7. Decide by principles, not by mood. If you want clarity, you must stop making decisions based on how you feel in the moment. Feelings are unstable. They rise and fall like waves, beautiful, intense, and completely unreliable as a foundation for long-term choices. Most people don't realize this, but their worst decisions were not made because they were unwise. They were made because they were emotional. You don't choose well when you're angry. You don't choose well when you're tired. You don't choose well when you're anxious, excited, jealous, or afraid. In fact, the human brain becomes dramatically less rational under emotional pressure. That's why Stoics built their entire philosophy around one core idea: principles over mood. Because moods are temporary, but principles are timeless. Epictetus didn't wait until he felt ready to be disciplined or honorable. Marcus Aurelius didn't rule an empire by following every emotion that stirred inside him. Seneca didn't improve his character by choosing convenience. They built inner frameworks, pre-decided rules, so that when circumstances changed, their integrity didn't. Most people do the opposite. They make decisions based on the weather inside their mind. When they're confident, they commit. When they're afraid, they avoid. When they're angry, they strike. When they're drained, they procrastinate. Their lives become unstable because their decisions fluctuate with every mood. This is why clarity requires something more durable. Non-negotiable principles. Think of principles as the rails of your life. As long as you stay on the rails, you move forward, even when emotions try to pull you sideways. Without principles, every turn in life becomes a negotiation with your mood. Here is a truth few people accept. Unprincipled decisions may feel good now, but they always cost you later. To build clarity, create your own Stoic rulebook. Simple and unbreakable, personal. Here are examples. Never decide when angry. Anger narrows your vision and pushes you into regret. Never promise when excited. Excitement exaggerates your confidence and blinds you to reality. Never judge when tired. Exhaustion distorts your perception and makes everything feel worse than it is. Never react on the first impulse. The first impulse belongs to emotion, the second belongs to reason. These principles act as governors, mental brakes that stop reckless decisions before they happen. And once you install them, clarity grows automatically. Your mind becomes calmer. You stop second-guessing yourself. You feel stronger, cleaner, and more aligned with your values. Now, build your own version, your 5 non-negotiables. 1. A principle for communication, e.g., I speak only after I understand. 2. A principle for relationships, e.g., I don't chase respect, I model it. 3. A principle for work, e.g., I finish what I start. 4. A principle for emotions, e.g., I stay silent when I'm triggered. 5. A principle for personal integrity, e.g., I choose what's right, not what's easy. When you follow these, especially when you don't feel like it, you build a mind that can think clearly even in chaos. Because clarity isn't the absence of emotion, it's the presence of structure. And when you choose principles over moods, you stop making decisions that betray your future self. You begin acting from strength, not reaction. You gain consistency, stability, and inner peace, the foundation of every wise life. Your feelings shift, your principles shouldn't. Clarity is not a mystery. It is not something only a few lucky people are born with. It is a discipline, a daily choice, a way of seeing, a way of thinking. And throughout this video, you've walked through 7 powerful Stoic methods designed to help you slow down, clear your mind, and choose actions that reflect your highest self instead of your strongest emotions. You quieted the noise. You separated facts from interpretations. You slowed the moment before reacting. You anchored yourself in virtue. You zoomed out for perspective. You removed the ego. You chose principles over moods. These aren't just ideas to listen to once. They're practices. meant to be repeated, trained, refined, lived. If you apply even one of them consistently, your decision-making will transform. You'll feel less overwhelmed, less reactive, less uncertain, and you'll start to notice something powerful. Your life becomes easier to navigate, not because the world changed, but because you changed the way you think. That is the essence of Stoic philosophy, the inner shift that creates an outer difference. So take a moment. Choose one practice from today's video. Commit to using it this week, and watch how clarity grows inside you, decision by decision, day by day. If this message resonated with you, leave a comment below. I choose clarity. And remember to like, share, and subscribe for more Stoic wisdom to strengthen your mind and guide your life forward. You're capable of clear thinking, you just have to train it.